Right, okay, here we're back again, working on Mary's image. Um, what we're just going to do now is I'm going to try and maybe improve slightly, and it's only just to give you an idea on certain things that you can do. Improve parts of the image, and I literally, when I got the image, I started playing around with different ideas, and one of the ideas that came into my head was to actually convert this image to black and white. And to do that, I literally came down here and clicked on black and white, and I started playing around with the black and white sliders just to see. You can see the yellows there and the grass and how it's affecting them. You can brighten those up or darken them. The greens, there should be greens in those grasses and stuff as well, and play around. Just literally playing around with the try and get some detail back in here. Blues again, get some more detail back in the sky, and I was playing around with this, and I think you could actually make quite a good black and white out of it, especially if I did levels adjustment as well. But I wasn't fully won over on it, and then I just said I'd try around playing with the blending mode of that black and white, and I was just trying different ones. And one of the ones that I actually liked was this darken layer. So I literally now I'm gonna say try any of them. Try this lighten, overlay, pin light. Don't be afraid to try them. But I just picked the dark one that because I quite liked it. Then I just reduced the opacity just to bring back in some of that detail back into it. And you can see we've gone for this quite blue, strong blue and a blue haze on it, and it's kind of toned all that down into a little bit more punchy image. Now we probably need to punch it up a little bit more, and maybe a levels adjustment. We could do that with it if we wanted, and we could work on parts of the image too if we just wanted to work on the cliffs or parts of the cliffs. Um, we could uh, work on that too. That's, to be honest, maybe it's probably not a huge improvement on the overall image, but what I might do is just fill this layer mask with black so you can't see the layer mask, and then we're going to go over to using paintbrush and paint with white. Change the flow and opacity up here, which is just basically the amount of white that's coming out, and we might just paint into a few areas here just to brighten them up, just the lighter areas where the sun might be, well, the light, I suppose, not much sun or whatever was hitting those cliffs, and just to draw out maybe some of that contrast in it, so you can get a little bit of contrast in the image, so you can see the effect that has on it. And you could do the same. You could do the reverse then in the darker areas if you wanted to darken down some of the shadow areas and just give it a little bit more uh, punch to the overall image. Um, Again, these are just ideas. They just give you ideas of things that you can actually do with with your images. So if we just go through here, and you can just, there's our original image, and here's our edited image. I won't call it final, just our edit so far. The other thing we could do maybe is just add a sharp mask, and to do that I'll just group all the layers, so it'll just be Control, Shift, Alt and E, and that creates a copy of all the layers up here on top. So this layer on top now is a copy of all of the layers that are underneath it. And with that, then I'm going to go to Filter, Other, High Pass, and then just play around this again. Just slide it around now don't go too high. I'd normally be down around 2s or 3s. Just which try it and see how you get on with it, but keep it down the lower end. Now you say, what have I done with the image? Now you can't see it anymore, but what I'm going to do again is change the blend mode, this time to overlay. And if I just zoom in here on parts of the cliff and I turn off that layer and turn it back on, you can see the sharpness that it's just adding to those rocks. So what you might want to do though, and you normally would with your overlay, if we just call this our sharpen layer, is you might want to drop the opacity, because oftentimes it's far too strong, but you can just pull down your opacity. Here you can just click on the arrow here and pull it over and back if you want, or if you go over the word opacity and just click and pull your mouse left or right, it'll change that opacity for you. There was one other thing that I was going to show you as well with this image, and what I'll do first of all, what I can do it with the image as it is I'm just going to go to image size, and normally you've constrained proportions would be turned on here, but if I click on this tick mark here and turn off constrained proportions, what I'm going to do is change this to maybe 2000, which gives you a 4:2 ratio on the image. See, now it'll take a little minute because it's so big. And now you've got a kind of panoramic version of that image. Now you might say, why didn't I crop the image? But there wasn't enough space over the cliff here, and maybe I didn't want to lose detail here in the bottom either. And by just changing, when there's no person or object in it that's clearly visible or a certain size, that it won't matter by squeezing the image slightly, or won't be affected by it. Then it's a great way of creating a panoramic shot out of what is probably otherwise impossible to do with an image like this, because there isn't space to crop it. So that's Mary's image edited. I'm sorry I'm kind of rushing through it. I'm just trying to keep to the time, but the next meeting we can well, you can send me emails or comments and I'll try and answer them, or at the next meeting you can ask me questions and I'll maybe take you through the various steps I went through again in a little bit more detail, and you can come back to this then maybe and try following it along. So we'll see you at the next meeting, and don't forget to send in your photos, and we'll hopefully you've learned something and that it helps you. Okay, thanks very much.